Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another glorious episode of Jedi Talk. I'm your host, Brad Hughes. And joining me today is the best two-thirds of the council. And I've decided I'm going to start saying that even when Evan's not here. A man who is such a member of the High Council, his lightsaber turned green even though his kyber crystal was purple. Tom Oakley. Tom, what's going on, brother?
By the right of the council, by the will of the Force. You can check out that video at youtube.com/Jedi Talk, where we just visited Sabi's the other day.
We did.
And saw our good old Kembe. The stars lit our way to our Kembe.
They sure did.
So you will check out that video. You'll know what we're talking about. But also follow us at Jedi Talk Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and our T-shirts, one of which I'm wearing tonight.
You actually are wearing a member of the High Council.
Member of the High Council.
When you showed up today, I was like, thank God you wore that shirt.
Yeah, that worked.
Because I wrote that joke before.
That's right. I mean, this is coming from a guy who's got time to watch a 4-hour YouTube video, but not Tales of the Empire.
You and me. Yeah. Oh, I thought. Oh, yeah. Okay. Fair.
Well, thank God the heat's off of us, and we're going to get into that in a little bit.
We definitely will. I know people wanted to hear what we had to say. We were talking about it in some groups today.
Well, it's such a hot button topic.
It's so strange that it's come back around now, even though we're this far removed from it. But what can you do? People are going to get excited about what they're going to get excited about. But before we get into that, do you have anything queued up that you want to talk about? The reason I'm trying to stall is because I want to turn this light off.
Oh, yeah, I actually do. I told you about that one thing, the crazy thing with AI, and the Vimerati and AI. So I was creating a video for the Jedi Talk YouTube, not YouTube. Well, I made it into a short, but the other day I was on Galaxy's Edge on Batu with the family, and Brad just picked up his headphones and whacked himself in the face, ladies and gentlemen.
I picked up with the microphone. That was my face getting hit. I'm having a rough week with injuries.
Yeah, that's right.
He
cut tip of his penis off yesterday.
I circumcised my finger.
Yeah, circumcised. Yeah, and he just whacked himself in the face with these headphones.
I'm so glad.
If that's any indication how this episode may be received, we're fucked, Brad.
Yeah, I think so.
Anyway, so I was like, oh, it would be in. So Vimerati snuck behind us, and I saw her, so I just picked up my phone and I put it on selfie mode just to record her running behind us, backstage. But she was sneaking around because Lieutenant Agnon was on stage. So she used another cast member, then used me to sneak away so she wouldn't be located. So yeah, typical Vimerati stuff.
Yep.
So the video, I'm like, oh, I can compare her to Sonic the Hedgehog, which I did in the video. But I was looking to try to create this amalgamation, this combination of Sonic and Vimerati. So I was trying to. So I'm like,
you're channeling your inner Chris Chan.
Yeah, sure. So I went on. I'm like, maybe AI can make a Vimerati with almost like a Sonic style outfit, and because
Did AI know who Vimerati was?
Well, they should. They
feed everything.
They feed everything into the internet. I've asked AI about Jedi Talk, and they know who we are. So
yeah, that's true. Even the early days of that, whatever that opened, I forget what it was called. But remember, I was like, do the Jedi Talk guys as it was like Thanksgiving, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I was like, do the Jedi Talk guys as Jedis for a logo, but all the faces came back all creepy. Remember that? Yeah.
I've messed with that a little bit too, but. So anyway, so I was just like, oh, and I fed it so many specific details of what I wanted. It kept screwing up. So I'm just like, give me an image of Vimerati. And then it wasn't giving me a real image. It was it spit me like a Harry Potter thing. I'm like, okay. And then I said, who is Vimerati from Star Wars? And then it spit back the definition for me. I'm like, okay, create a cartoonish image of Vimerati for me.
Oh, interesting. So you have to probe it kind of.
And look, maybe I'm using the wrong one, but this Copilot that I was using, I think that's the name of it, and I'm a novice with this stuff, so I'm just learning as we go along. Every time I asked to give me Vimerati, after the AI knew who Vimerati was, and I kept saying Vimerati's on Galaxy's Edge, she's on Batu, they kept giving me a white chick.
Really?
AI is racist.
It's opposite. Well, I think they're having to make up for...
AI is racist.
For the Google one that was doing the Founding Fathers as black guys.
See, I didn't hear that.
Oh, you didn't?
No, the whole... No, I'm not going to look at it. The whole bit, I just wanted to call out that we're trying to get Vimerati here.
They're whitewashing fucking
Galaxy's Edge. Jesus.
That's so fucked up.
Fucking AI, what the hell is going on here? So that's a way to lighten it.
So you want to talk a little bit for people who aren't going to venture out and watch the video, your most recent trip to Savi's? You want to talk a little bit about it?
Sure. We could chat about that. Yeah, like I said, Savi's is up there, but like I try to do it once a year, and Brad and I caught it in 2022 when I built my Elemental Nature one. That video is up there. But then the stars lit our way over to said Savi's workshop on mid to late afternoon this past Sunday. And as a completionist, I ended up getting, it was Peace and Justice. Because I've got a Power and Control, I've got Elemental Nature, and I've got the, what's the other one? The High Republican. Power and Justice.
Peace and Justice, Power and Control, Elemental Nature, and I'm trying to remember the...
Protection and Defense.
Protection and Defense.
So I needed Peace and Justice, so that's what I wound up with. So completion, I've got all 4 types, not every single combination known to man. I think that's several sabers.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, and lots of money too. Yeah, and but no, it's such a great thing. If you have, if you've been sitting on your hands waiting to do this, you just don't know if it's worth the cost. You don't want to spend the $260 to $70 on it.
I get it.
Yeah, do it.
I get it, but do it.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I get that too. But it's the best thing going at Galaxy's Edge at the moment. In my honest, humble opinion.
I agree, especially with our Kimbe that we had.
Yes, absolutely, and
it's next level.
Yeah, sure, and it's
sorry, and I also think these are the best pieces that they've had so far.
Some great pieces.
They are really sick. The saber you made was fucking nasty.
I wanted to go Power and Control because I was like, the Peace and Justice was like, I just wasn't doing it for me, and then I was like, and then I was leaned by the Force to be a completionist a little bit, to say I have at least all 4 pins. Because I guess I have the pins now.
I have no clue where my pin went. I'm not a pin guy. Who knows? It's probably in a box somewhere.
So I just I was so happy after the fact, and when I went back and watched our video, I was like, oh, I was so happy I made that. Yeah, so it's a good time.
I'm glad. I'm actually kind of glad you did too. Now you have all of them. You can say you're the only one on the council who's got all the.
I suppose so. The video is beautiful, by the way. I wanted to tell you on air.
Oh, thank you, man.
Very nice job with that. The colors look excellent.
Thank you.
The sabers really do pop. So
I am learning color correction, and it is intensive.
Yeah, AI is learning color correction too, and doing wrong things with it.
It's learning anti-color.
Yeah, like I gotta look into something else here. I'm creating my images for TeePublic for Jedi Talk.
That's so funny.
And Fourth Mother Box has one out there now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to something else here. Did you see the image that came out of the cast of Skeleton Crew?
I did. Yes, I shared that to our story.
What did you think?
We knew they were going to be. We knew it was going to be surrounded by like kids.
Yeah. So, that I'm not. I wasn't. I feel. I mean, I. Here's the thing. You always get, and we'll talk about this later, I'm sure. The like doesn't look like Star Wars argument, and I've never really understood it. But to me, this doesn't look like Star Wars.
Really?
This looks like cyberpunk.
Well, it's just a promotion for an action figure, so it's like I'm really not taking much with it. It's just on a box.
Yeah, it's on a box of like a medallion or something.
Yeah. I'm sure. Look, Acolyte is
that looks like Baby Max Rebo, and if it's not, I'm gonna be pissed.
It's
not because it takes place after, I think, doesn't it?
Unless, yes, right?
Yeah, I think
unless
so.
Max Rebo crapped out a kid before he blew up on the.
What would his son's name be? Fiery Death Rebo.
Max Power. Fiery Death Rebo.
Fiery Death Rebo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very Riker from Star Trek, that like blind thing.
Yeah,
that, to me, that's like, unless the kid's blind and they kind of do it to like tell the sisters or something, which
maybe they're
fine.
Maybe
but they've done Chirrut Imwe. He didn't have it.
Chirrut Imwe. Yeah, I've got something to say about Chirrut later, as we divulge into this 4-hour video.
Oh yeah. All right. Let me see if there's anything else here. That was the one thing I could remember that I wanted to take a look at. Acolytes, we're getting.
Yeah, we're coming up to the Acolyte. That's why I'm like not gonna judge Skeleton Crew until we get a trailer or something, or even a poster, because
I agree.
Which I'm sure we'll get around the time Acolyte's wrapping up or something.
My first initial impression is that I don't like the aesthetic, but that doesn't mean that the show is not going to be good.
In the very little aesthetic that we got, is that even an aesthetic? It's a box with
it's not. I mean, it could be like animated. You know, they kind of do that like drawing of the image or whatever. Mm-hmm. We'll see. It's just again first impression. Mm-hmm. I don't love it. I am excited for the show. I think the show is going to be cool. I think it's a cool new thing to do in Star Wars. Plus, also too, like how I don't remember if I said this or not, but like how many times can you do the same aesthetic over and over and over again before it's like, okay, we got to do something different?
Oh, sure, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's especially with Star Wars, and this was actually what I was bitching at Kyle about the other day. He was talking about Acolyte not feeling like Star Wars, and I'm like,
I don't get
what
that.
do you want not to feel like Star Wars? It's like we can't sit in the grungy OG trilogy all the time.
There's also more to the galaxy than that. Like, we've seen it.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's silly to not go expand on
It's
that.
true.
The whole point of that is that, like, that's the bad neighborhood, essentially, of the galaxy.
Bad neighborhood.
Like, across the tracks, you know? Like, the Boonta Eve tracks. The Boonta tracks.
The
I don't know
Boonta
what I'm trying to
tracks.
say.
Don't cross the Boonta tracks.
Don't cross the Boonta tracks. All right. We're dancing around this. Let's go ahead and dive into
Well,
this.
it's fine. It's fine. We just wanted to kind of open it up, chit chat a little bit. That's
Yeah.
what we do on Jedi
You
Talk.
good, man? Everything's good? Everything's good?
No, I'm on fire. I'm the fucking dog in the meat. No, I'm fine. Yeah, Jesus Christ. No, yeah, we're not dancing around anything. No, this is like this. It's such a hot button topic this week.
I wonder
It's like we
why.
can't not chat about it. You know?
I know. We initially had said, like, we're not going to talk.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't even want to watch the video.
No, when I saw it posted, I said, okay, that's a video. I was not aware of who that individual was, but they have
Me
her name's Jenny Nicholson.
Yes.
On YouTube, right?
Yep.
That's the very popular. The video that we're talking about already has over 2 million views from last I checked.
2 million.
Can you check
Seriously?
on that? Yeah.
Holy shit!
When I was finishing it today, because it is 4 hours, and I believe from the comments I've seen,
oh, you're right. 2.1 million views. Fuck.
This YouTuber is known for research and being into the theme parks, and I believe Star Wars is part of that. I saw somebody recommend look at a Land Before Time video that she made. I'm not
like
into
a
the whole
nostalgia
YouTuber
critic kind of thing. Like,
craze,
she goes through and just kind of
picks it apart a little
critiques
bit.
things
Yeah.
she's interested in, which you know, fair enough. That's cool. That's one thing you can do on YouTube, and there's other. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah,
We
she
could freak Star
seems
Wars.
wildly successful with that.
Yeah,
Obviously.
she's crushing it. So,
and I think it's like a thing. It was so. I think it also gained very big popularity. One, it dropped either on or, around the day they announced the closure.
Smart.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
For her,
it's very smart. Yeah, of course.
I had no intention of watching this, but I am glad I did. I think people are going to be a little shocked about my thoughts on this. Maybe not so much now because I've told you my thoughts. I think people who haven't watched the video think it's a 4-hour her bashing on the experience of the Star Cruiser, and that's not what the video is. The video starts off, and for like the first hour, it's her kind of going through the announcement phase and like all this stuff, and you know, talking about what the plans were supposed to be, and then it kind of goes into like an hour and a half or two of.
Oh, let me do
Did
you
you
one.
write some notes down?
Yeah, I did.
I meant to, and I didn't get a chance.
No,
to.
it's fine. But let me. So off the bat, I think this is a hot button topic, especially within the folks who are, the Halcyon community, the ones who we know several very well, and they are listeners here. So the title of it was "The Spectacular Failure of the Star Wars Hotel." So there's two things there that right off the jump are going to upset some people who are really big fans of it. One, calling it a failure, although.
Let's be honest, it was.
It was financial failure.
Financial failure. And
If it
that's what she's saying.
wasn't a failure as an experience, or, Evan calls it life-changing, so to him it wasn't a failure there. And then, the Star Wars Hotel, I know a lot of people do not like when it's called the Star Wars Hotel, and I get that. I understand the reasoning. But it's just like general public, and she titled this the way she titled this on purpose.
Of course,
for engagement. I get it. Yeah,
For
and
people to click, hate click.
yeah, and it's what people do. If you watch video out there, hell, I wouldn't be shocked if Jedi Talk did it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I've done it for that. Maybe we did it with that Star Tours video. But anyway, so it's just right off the bat, right? People aren't going to get all kind of mushy and feely about it away.
They're going to come off defensive.
Sure, yeah, especially with something that you love, and
defensive.
it truthfully is natural to be defensive against
Something you love
and
Yeah,
rage
for sure.
against. I've done that with Metallica time and time again. Of course, I've done it with Star Wars. I've done it with Zack Snyder's DC Extended Universe, and I've done it with this podcast.
I think two things can be true. I think you can really be defensive and love the thing, but that doesn't take away the experience that she had.
Of
and
course.
I think she had some very valid criticisms, so much so that one of the criticisms she had, which we'll kind of get into once we start talking about it like kind of not beat by beat because that would be an 8-hour video. We don't do
Yeah.
that. But she had some pretty severe tech issues, and I know we've talked about it, but I don't think people understand. When I went the very first time with you, I had tech issues where I couldn't play the game. I couldn't play anything, and if you hadn't have been there, I would have had a very similar experience to what she had. I was sympathetic to that because I had that exact experience the first time.
And we found out because you had 57,000 Magic bands that broke my Disney experience.
It broke it, and I think that might be kind of the thing she had, or she had multiple accounts and wasn't logged into the proper account. That could be a thing too.
But at the same time, so
it's also on personal accountability. It's also on you to go up and express like, "Hey, this isn't working."
Right.
Like that we did. We tried to get it fixed.
Yeah, we did, and that was one of the. Not criticisms, but some of the feedback from the video, which I didn't like. It's like, did you go to guest services? Did you go to the Blue Crew?
She said she didn't.
Yeah, and it was just like, did you try? Was there any motivation to? Did you not want to break immersion because you kept talking about that, but you just had to get it fixed? Like, there's got to be protocols for that. You were also like, I think she was like the 6th or 8th, the 6th cruise, the 6th voyage.
Oh, I didn't catch that. I was actually wondering what cruise she was
March
on.
22. I know that.
Okay,
so very early on.
Pretty early on, yeah.
So, but one of the things I also want to say is...
Do you feel slighted we didn't get invited to go do some TikTok dances on the bridge?
I am so happy. I don't ever... I put that in part of my notes. I just put the TikTokers.
Oh, fuck.
Let's get to that in a second. Hold on.
Oh,
no,
my God.
No, let me say one thing. What again with a video like this, what's frustrating as somebody who loves a property like this, who went out and voyaged and had different experience than Jenny did, is she has a large following, and it's just human nature. A lot of people, they don't want to divulge their time or experience something maybe because they couldn't, so they're going to get this feedback from an individual a source that they trust or a source that they're into, and they're going to take it all as like authentically the Constitution or the Bible. Like they're going to take it as, oh, that's exactly what happened. One of the
to be fair, it is what happened to her.
1,000% correct.
You know,
but that's not what happened to everybody.
No. And I think she puts her experience as the only experience, and kind of, because she also says that she saw people having a great time while she was on the ship. I'll talk more about it when we get further in.
Yeah, this is and I also want to stress too, I truly appreciate her opinion because like I think she's the, and I don't know, I'm not going looking for this either, but she's like the biggest or mainstream, I don't know, again, I know who she was before this, but I think she's the biggest name with the most views that I've seen talk poorly about this. Like,
sure,
like her experience was truly crappy. And yeah, because like the sitting behind the pole thing for dinner, that just like was frustrating. That's, I don't know how.
And also, have you ever had one of those days in the parks where like everything's down, you get in line?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah,
I feel like that's the experience she had with this, and it's like that doesn't mean that everyone else in the park that day is having a great time, but it also doesn't mean that her experience isn't valid just because everyone loved it. Like I think people need to keep that in mind. Like her opinion is completely valid,
and
it's well thought out. It's not like she's just saying I hate it.
Yeah.
If you actually go and watch I know people. I've talked to people today that were like, I'm not going to watch it because it's like, well, you're kind of doing what you're accusing her of doing. And the people who haven't gone, like,
oh, hold on.
Hang on.
All right.
You're saying that like people, you get mad when people go like, oh, the Halcyon sucked, but you're like, well, you didn't even go on it. It's like, well, you're doing the same thing now because you're going like, I don't want to see this video.
Sure.
And you're not giving it a chance because you're not watching it. You don't know exactly what's being said.
Right.
You kind of think you do, but I promise you don't. I mean, she praised it in a lot of ways.
Sure, she does. Yeah, there was a lot of things I agreed with her on the good side of things. What I was saying is, if somebody just doesn't want to watch this video,
fine.
It's just like, yeah, fuck it. Yeah, as long as you're not sitting there ripping on her for having an opinion on
exactly. That's what I was.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
Because that's how I feel. Like somebody could just be like, whatever. I'm not going to watch it because. Sure. You feel how you feel. Your experience was your experience.
Yeah, and like, it doesn't matter. Like that's your experience.
Yeah,
she's allowed to not have a good time. Yeah. You're allowed to have the best time ever.
Sure, totally fine. Like I went to the Royal Rumble in January. I thought I saw people bitch about their time there, but I had a great time. So it's like
I forgot you did that.
Yeah, Clearwater. Tampa. Nice. It was fun. Good shit.
I love Clearwater.
Yeah, Clearwater.
It's kind of creepy, but
nah, I like it.
All the Scientology.
Oh, I've never run into any of that.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Go downtown next time you're there. It's wild.
I don't want to. I'm normally on the beach side, Clearwater Beach, where Hogan's shop is. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love it. So anyway,
have you ever been to the one on iDrive here?
No, I drove by it once, but I've
like
never
near
been on it.
Popeyes or something.
It's the way to go.
It's
Hogan's bulking up on the Popeyes as he
come on, brother.
He's a born again Christian, I think. He just got married again or something.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I see it every now and again because I'm
Wow.
obviously follow the wrestling piece of things.
He's great on podcasts. He was on Rogan.
He's just
Hulk Rogan.
Yeah, Hogan is just he's so inconsistent with his stories. Like he thinks he makes everybody in the business. It's just like you did. Your
I think
thing.
a lot of it's CT.
It could be CT. No, it's actually the roids. The roids. I'm shocked. Hogan. I hate to say this, but just shocked that he's kind of still around.
Same.
So
those dudes put their bodies through so much shit.
They
Anyway,
do.
back to
yes.
back to
Sorry,
Halcyon.
we have healthy ADHD here.
That's what we do here on Jedi Talk.
So I just want to when you get the people who already have a mindset that the Halcyon was bad, doesn't look like Star Wars. Where's Darth Vader, Luke, and Leia in the slave bikini outfit? Right? They want all that. They want Jabba the Hutt rolled out in a puppeteer. She actually mentioned that in the video. She said that, which would be cool, but I'm all right. Because I just happen to be a fan of the sequel trilogy, and then so the people are going to watch her video, right? Who see, I didn't do that, but I didn't want to do that. It's a failure. I feel better. I'm going to watch the video, and it's just going to further their view on it when, again, they didn't experience. But they can't experience it. It's no longer around, and they just have our podcast, other podcasts like here of the Halcyon, other YouTubes out there from around Disney. And
one way she framed the video, I thought it was an interesting choice, and I don't know if she did this video like a long time ago. I'm just going to hang on to it now that it got closed. She was doing it like, next time you go, do this. Did you catch that vibe?
There were a few things she also said that I marked
like,
down.
when you get seated, like make sure you like. It's like then then she'll go like, well, you can't now because it's closed. Like she corrected herself a few times.
Oh,
but it was framed in an interesting way.
That just might be the delivery maybe of how she does her videos. I'm really not quite sure. I haven't watched any others because it was really hard for me to pick up if she was condescending or not towards the people who really loved the Halcyon. I
thought she was condescending to the actors on the ship.
Well, you stay far away from. First off, I'm not throwing any shade, but you stayed away from Wraith Cole. I will
defend her a little bit on this.
That's a mistake.
I will give her a little leeway here. She specifically said that when she was doing this, she wanted to specifically do First Order.
She called Wraith Cole a racist.
I think
alienist.
It was in jest, I think. I don't think she was being serious. You
can't be throwing shade at our boy like that.
There were things that she said like that I think was intended to be funny, but Evan knows. I wish he was here today. Evan knows this person.
It's the first time you've ever said that.
I know, and it's probably the last. Evan knows who this woman is. He's watched her videos.
That's
in the
right.
past.
He has, yeah.
He told us that, and so
he won't anymore now.
Yeah, probably not. You've made an enemy with Evan Boucher. And ask Epcot. That's not what you want to do.
Epcot's just like, thank God the heat's off us.
He said she is like known for being like socially awkward, and I could tell that came across in her videos sometimes. Like she would kind of look down at the camera or like do overly long eye contact with the camera. And this is not a critique. I'm just pointing out an
sure, just like and that's why
I think that carried over because there were a few times when she was on the ship that she would like talk to somebody, and the way she would say it, it came off like she was being condescending. Now, to be fair to her, I'm sitting like a motherfucker on this episode today. But it's just true. It's true how I feel. I wouldn't lie.
Is there bourbon in that 25th anniversary?
This is mug. Straight up black coffee, bro.
Very good.
It's so good. What was I saying? Well, I forgot what I completely.
Or if it was the Copilot AI, that'd be white coffee.
Because it
changes everything. I asked it to make fucking racist AI.
I think she kind of just came off to some cast members weird. Mixed with she had some tech issues. So some of the stuff that was supposed to have happened didn't happen, and she couldn't convince them. I don't know. There was the clip of her like telling the guy from the first the
Croy. Croy who's we've seen on Planet Zagnon now.
I didn't think of him as Croy because it wasn't Adam.
I know, isn't it wild?
That's so funny.
But we also had
I know, but I just every time I see Croy, I just think of
sure.
Adam.
And if you're listening, hold on. I do want to preface something too. If you're listening to us via the Jenny video, she did use our footage. She pulled it from YouTube, and she did credit us. So Thanks for over the 2 million views of Jedi Talk right now.
Cool.
I mean,
we also have reached out to her to come on the show.
Yes. If you are a Patreon of hers or something, and it's not, we're not trying to gotcha or anything.
No, God,
it's truthfully like a conversation.
I'm just curious.
To try to explain our situation, or not our situation, but our experiences.
She did such a good job explaining her issues with it. By the end of it, I was like, well, at least she just didn't like shrug her shoulders and go, I don't know, I didn't like it. Her opinion and justification is completely valid.
Yes, there was research.
She did it. It's 4 fucking hours.
I know.
I can't believe I watched
my experience was
completely
much different.
Yeah.
So you said you felt like she was condescending towards the cast a little bit.
Yeah, I think it might just be the fact that she's socially awkward, and I get that.
Oh.
I got that from Evan. That's what Evan said, that she's kind of known for that.
Aren't we all?
There was a few times that she was like, and I don't even think it was like she directing it to anyone in particular, but like there was a time when the Croy was in the room with her. Unless I'm misremembering the clip, it's a 4-hour video.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, only watched it once.
Little details wrong, but she was like talking about in the engineering room, and she was like, "Let's go do this thing, whatever that is." Oh, never mind. It's dumb, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, you're openly shitting on it. Like they're not going to interact with you,
right?
And also, not everyone is going to get the same level of interaction. And her point is like, well, if I'm spending X amount of dollars, I want to have a certain level of experience, which is a completely fair opinion to have.
Yes.
Completely fair.
Yes. And then that ties into some of what she said in the beginning with the marketing and what's on Disney. But I want to stick to the cast for a second.
I'm just going to caveat that, especially if you're wanting to do that. There are people who didn't want to do that. Mm-hmm. We saw people on both voyages that were just sitting in the atrium, sipping on a drink, eating food. Their kids were there, whatever.
Yep.
That's fine.
Yep.
But if I get it, if you're wanting to do this, you've paid a fuck ton of money to do it, you should have a certain level of experience. I agree with her.
So the cast. So she's a big fan of Captain Keevan, which obviously my favorite character from the Galactic Star Cruisers. Captain Keevan's in my top 10 Star Wars characters. I had the same experience with Keevan as she did. Outside of, I did way more with Keevan, but again, I'm trying really hard to take an approach here of not having my mindset here, because she's not the level of Star Wars fan I am. I have to assume. I don't know that.
She's a pretty big Star Wars fan. Like she did some movie reviews, and like one of them was like Rise of Skywalker really sucked. So I mean, she's got a little antis.
Do you think? But then,
bias,
all right. Do you think she then? Do you think she just said, "Oh, this is Hondo. I don't like him. He's from a cartoon." Do you think she said that because not a lot of people are going to be Star Wars fans watching the video, or do you say that because she might be more on the casual line? It's like, not that it matters. Who cares?
I can't pretend. I can't pretend to know.
So, but I'm going into the Halcyon ready to interact.
Yeah.
Like the one that we did together, I was beelining it to talk to people.
Yep.
And then the one that Jedi Talk did officially, the one and only the three of us did, the same thing. Yep. If we broke off, I'm talking to Saja Fenn. I'm talking to Captain Keevan doing something, right? Trying to get thrown in the brig by yelling at Croy and Gary. So I'm trying to think, her and I think it's her sister or whoever she went with, I'm trying to think like maybe they don't have that mindset. They're not going in to interact and play like that. They're looking to be guided to that. And she
said, I will say, she said several times that this was like her bread and butter, these like immersive experiences, which was surprising to me because it didn't come off like that.
Okay.
That she's like familiar enough.
Maybe
with
we'll have to go look at one of her other immersive reviews
or
something.
Maybe. I wonder which one she's done, but I don't need to go down this rabbit hole.
No.
But maybe I should. I don't
know. So the cast, right? And then she said she didn't want to. She just didn't like scoundrels, right? And that's why she didn't interact with Wraith.
Sure. Fine. Whatever.
And since we're talking about, and I just would recommend you should have interacted with Wraith. I don't know. But choose your own story too. But Wraith is a good time.
Yep.
Especially that Wraith that you missed out on interacting with.
Yeah, no kidding. Of all the ones you could have got, you got the best one.
I'll use this. I made this comment on the video. Brad and I both commented under the Jedi Talk page, but I made this comment because there was a point in the video too where Jenny talked, and I don't know if she corrected this or if this was like before. Maybe even our interview with former Galactic Star Cruiser performer Jason Keller came out, which you can go back and listen to on our podcast channel and YouTube.
Highly recommend that episode.
Yes, he gives us more insight to what actually was going on. So no, there wasn't AI feeding information into Croy or anybody to remember names, That cast right there is what made the positive experiences for everybody. I know Brad may feel a little bit differently about me on this, but since we're talking about cast, I'm going to defend Sage and the shade that was thrown on him in this video. Just from the fact is because I love Sage.
Differently.
Hashtag release the Sammy file, which is a shirt you can buy on our TeePublic, which I got to get to Sage next time I see him. The man was just look. The man's trying to promote his position, his passion. He did help work on that. Like
yeah, but her criticism was
but people had he's trying to do the job Disney didn't do in marketing this thing.
But that's not his responsibility.
We tried to. It's not, but he's getting. It's his livelihood. He was getting paid for doing this. You know, it's like
it also,
I understand it, but
I'm thinking about it now.
I think it was nitpicking a little bit.
I'm thinking about it now too a little bit. She was doing that as Sage. Love you, Sage too. She was. I don't care. It's not a point that I'm like super passionate about, but I just thought she was going like he's not being objective because he works there. And when he's telling people to go and book this thing, her opinion is that it's not worth it. And it's like, well, then you have this guy who is an actor promoting it. It's kind of what? And I agree with that because it's like, yeah, I mean. But like, do you have? I mean, I don't know. It's a weird gray area for me because I've never fence it so much more in my fucking life than this episode. I'm not this person. I have very strong opinions usually.
Oh, you're just fence-sitting about it. It's like
I'm not though because it's how I actually feel. I'm not.
No, I know.
I'm not
free speech is great, and I think it's like if this was just a video with 100 views, then no, we wouldn't be talking about this. But it's this person has a large reach, and I think. If I can usher anything to the people who had great experiences like Brad, Evan, and I, it's just her experience was not yours.
Yeah.
That could never be taken away from us. It's absolutely plausible that these bad experiences just happened not to her and others, and she shared comments. She went and she found comments. It took her a couple of years, but she went and found comments. Because of course people are going to have bad experiences.
With that volume of people.
That volume of people
you're going
to have something that's never been done before in a sense. Shit might have happened to us that wasn't supposed to, and it might have gone over our head.
Sure.
Right? And it just so happened to be so much worse, and then it rained too on her about 2 days, so it was kind of crappy.
I'm telling you, man, she had like the worst of the worst. Like when you're watching that, I felt bad for her because I'm like, God damn, I did not have that experience with this. This sucks. I genuinely felt I was like, I wanted to be so bad. Like, you got a fucking bad experience. You need to go back and do it again.
Right.
But the things that she did get to try, she didn't love. Like, so she did like the bridge training, and she was like, "This is kind of lame gameplay," which it is pressing buttons, and I get that. I had fun with it. I think it's a fun time. I don't think it's.
Did she say it was lame? I thought
She said a lot of the gameplay was lame and basic. Well, I might be paraphrasing.
Do you know the Disney's like audience? Like, you gotta kind of mix the.
It has to be done that way. The kids are going.
Yeah, kids, and then you have to mix like the generic. You know, our bit is we're calling them resort fatties, but it's like you have to mix the regular park goer in with some of this too. Yeah. The ones who can afford it. You know, I don't know. It's people have a lot of money who are into Star Wars, but also people are just going to do this if they're a little bit into Star Wars just because it's new and it's Disney.
Or if they're just curious about it because they're big Disney dorks.
Yeah,
we knew people like that. We met people like that on the ship.
Yes.
They're like, yeah, we're just big Disney people.
Right. And like,
this is really cool. And you're like, yeah, it is cool.
It is very cool.
It's fucking awesome.
I do want to say, like, in the beginning of this video, she comes out storming with a lot of great points because and guys, Jedi Talk has talked about this, and there isn't a single person I don't think I have talked to has gone on the Halcyon and had good experiences that does not disagree with us that the marketing was bad.
It was atrocious. She circled back on things I was like, oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, some of those drops. And so I also agree with her with her anti-Six Flags stand. She's just taking shots at Six Flags whenever. Yes.
Absolutely.
I do. Just go for it.
And if you like it, you're trash. Period. I won't fence sit on that.
She did say the worst of the use of the word immersive has definitely been killed.
Oh my God, she's so when she did that montage, I was like, oh my God, you're fucking right.
Right, everything's immersive. And
even things that aren't immersive are immersive. You're like, that's not immersive.
She also said something about
Avengers Campus is not immersive.
No,
it's dog shit.
Well, when I do want to say this. I forgot to mention this on my recent trip. I'm not changing how I think about California Adventures Avengers Campus, but I had a better experience. I saw a great, very well choreographed fight between Taskmaster and Black Widow on top of the building.
That's cool. I love the animatronic Spider-Man. I think that's fucking
that's
unbelievable.
Awesome. So anyway, moving along. What the hell was I talking about? Yeah, Immersive's been killed. And she said something later on in the video that I have to say I disagree with. She said, like, on the same... She believes Pandora and Galaxy's Edge have the same level of immersion.
Oh, yeah. I remember hearing that. I was like, I could not disagree with you more. On
Pandora doesn't have any characters walking around.
They have the mech suit guy. I don't know if they still have that.
I haven't seen the mech suit guy in a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
That was cool. That was cool.
I agree. But Look, I can meet Chewie. I could talk to Rey. I talk to Agnon on a daily basis. I can build a lightsaber and a droid in Galaxy's Edge. And Pandora, you're going to go buy a Banshee?
You can put your face on a fucking action figure for $98. Like, it's not the same.
I can go to Black Series and do that for Star Wars.
Right? I disagree with that, too. I think that's disingenuous. That assumption. I think they're completely different to me. But we're also diehard Star Wars.
We are, right? We are.
Fuck about Avatar.
In Avatar, I haven't.
I've never seen the first one all the way through, and I definitely haven't seen the second one.
I haven't done Flight of Passage since I've been a pass holder.
Really?
Yeah. Last time I did that was probably April 21.
The only time I ever do it is when we're at Animal Kingdom and my kids want to do it.
Sure.
I don't care.
I'll go back eventually.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. Star Tours is the better version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's right about the marketing. I don't know.
She's dead on with the marketing. It was dog shit.
She had some weird thoughts that I didn't completely agree with about the lightsaber.
I agreed with everything she said about the lightsaber. And I think it's so funny because Evan hated it when he first went on it and said he would never do it again, and then now he defends it.
Oh, the lightsaber training?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about the promo when Rey showed up with the lightsaber for the first time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What was her critique on that? Because I agree with her. It's like it's a really cool thing, but you can't fucking do anything with it.
Yeah, I think it was like people didn't know. Can you buy it? Can you? And we
speculated. We're like, dude, if we can buy this, fuck yeah, let's go. And it's like,
sure, yeah, I guess I thought so, but I guess I really, in hindsight, I don't care. Like, okay, they showed us the lightsaber. That's cool. It's going to be part of the show. Like, what's the? I mean,
the problem is you see it once.
It's complicated tech. I don't know what to tell you. Like if you use it more than once, it might fail. I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses.
Did it ever fail on the ship? Did anyone ever try to do it and it not work?
Well, that's a good question.
Does that exist? Does that clip exist? I need to look that up after this.
Like the amount of times that's happened, that's got to be a thing.
I agree with her take on that. I think it's one of the coolest things they've ever invented, but they don't have any fucking clue what to do with it.
Well, let's go back to, you mentioned your agreement with the lightsaber training pod with her.
Yeah, I think it's interesting tech that they use in a really it's. She said if this was in a theme park and it was a 20-minute wait, it'd be really cool to do once or twice. If I didn't have to do that to have like the Yoda holocron experience, I probably wouldn't have done it again. I think it's fun, but like it's not. She also made a good point. Like, why is this? I mean, it's because of the canon.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like.
Yeah, that's always been explained. And she wants poke, and she said it didn't make sense. When has Star Wars or fantasy in general ever fucking made sense?
That's a good point. Your suspension of disbelief has to carry through some things. I don't know. I've always been like defending of it, but I never loved it like that. Like, I don't know. I agree with it because I think it's kind of boring. I think it's fun, and I did it both times I went on, but like. If that experience they put in Batuu, I don't think I'd do it like regularly.
The one thing
would you? I mean, like, would you wait an hour to do that? I wouldn't.
To do that particularly? No,
because they pick it up and put it into Galaxy's Edge, and you can go to like the Jedi Temple on Batuu and do.
If there's more to the Jedi Temple,
if there's more to it than that,
then
I'd
yes,
go to.
Then yes,
just that.
No, just that.
Once, maybe twice.
No, that was part of, and here's the word again, the immersiveness of the Halcyon. That was part of a grander story. Plus, the thing with lightsaber was Josh D'Amaro put out an awful video, and so I called that out from the front, from the jump. It was a bad video. It did not make me excited for lightsaber training, but when we actually did it, I was happy.
Same.
Yeah, I was like, this is fun.
I think in a vacuum, looking at the experience, it's kind of boring.
compared to other things we did, maybe it's on lower, but it's
not even like like I had so much more fun doing like stuff in the engineering room. I had so much more fun interacting with all the characters.
Yeah, I had more fun interacting with characters too.
But think about how important that is. An interactive, highly immersive Star Wars 2-day experience, and the lamest thing you had was the lightsaber.
Oh, sure, yeah. That should
like,
go to
crazy.
tell you that it's awesome. Yeah,
that should tell you how cool the rest of the stuff is. Like,
right,
in my opinion.
But like the lightsaber training pod was so much more because Saja, I think it's Malik. I might be wrong on her actual name. Knew what training stance Anakin Skywalker, knew, and like she called it out. She was talking to us, and it was a lot of fun.
She also said she wasn't sure if I have a correction too. Saja is absolutely its own path.
Yes.
It's not tertiary to the other things. You can definitely go down that path and have that be your only experience. Mm-hmm. It's probably not as full as some of the other ones because you don't get to, there's more than one Saja. You're not interacting with just Croy or just Wraith Cole or, but it is its own path for sure.
And you could stack that shit too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, I don't think, I think, I mean, she did say that she just got kind of that random assignment of like resistance because she ended up in a bridge with Sammy. And
I had that too. I think it was our first time. What was it? Did you drop your pin again?
Yeah, I did. I'll find it.
I'm going to talk for a minute if you want to get up and yeah, perfect. I had that kind of the same experience though, because remember the first time we got randomly assigned like first order bridge training, and we hadn't had any interaction with Croy up to that point. Really, I mean, we had a few, but we definitely weren't involved with the first order. It was a break off, or was it the second time? I can't remember what time it was.
First time we did first order. But to be fair, the first time you and I were all over the place. We were in almost everything.
We weren't even close to being first order enough for
we kind of were.
Think
we
so?
kind of were, yeah, because at first I was following first order, and then we kind of tapered off from it when the Saja really broke us off.
I don't remember. I'll take your word for
it. Trust me, we were dipped in like a bunch of different stuff.
We interacted with everybody. Yeah, I don't remember being like where he'd be like, you want to come fucking bomb the resistance with me?
No, Croy didn't say that.
No, that's an exact quote. He said, "You want to fucking bomb the resistance?" He said it on stage.
Did he?
That's an exact quote from him. You want to fucking bomb the resistance?
She called out the pricing and said, "Yeah, the pricing."
It's insane.
Is crazy. Average people can't do that.
Especially, dude, when you look at like now that we're doing this international Tokyo trip. You said it yourself on the show. Your trip to Paris for 12 days was less than 2 days on the Halcyon.
Not 12 days, but like 7 or 8. But yeah, still.
Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, it was less than Halcyon.
Okay, less than Halcyon. Our trip to Japan for 10 days is going to be roughly about the same cost as 2 people doing the Halcyon.
If that.
And like that's a 10-day trip international with Star Wars Celebration and 3 to 4 days at Tokyo Disney Sea.
So
that's a lot of fucking money.
In an effort to move it along and try not to make this show 4 hours,
we're good. We're only at 40 minutes.
Okay, good.
We're good.
I always, I think she had an interesting take, and I kind of came around a little bit to it when she mentioned like and I don't know the actor's name, but he plays Adam Goldberg on The Goldbergs, was walking around the ship with Ann Morrow Johnson. So she said this is kind of out of a luster of like the old school, like if this were in, I think she said the 50s, it'd be like Mickey Rourke.
Yep.
Right? And I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can kind of see that Disney magic and mustard, but then again, she did follow with a very good, it could, because, and guys, Halcyon lovers and Star Cruiser community lovers, this ad was not it, and it needed to be something different. We were already sold on it. We're already sold on it. All of us are. The people who love it listening.
Whenever the rumors started coming out and it's like there's gonna be a Star Wars, I was like, I'm fucking
well,
going.
Of course.
Yeah.
But like, why couldn't Ann Morrow Johnson be walking a Mark Hamill around, or even Daisy Ridley, or John Boyega, or a character from a Star Wars actor?
Yeah. Who?
George Lucas.
That would have been. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. There's a brig.
Are my jeans steamed?
Is that where I can put all the stacks of money I got?
His pants are keeping him down. He was at the Grand Floridian not that long ago.
Yeah. I would love to fucking run into that.
Well,
I wouldn't say anything to him. I wouldn't say anything to him.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I going to say that no one's ever said to that guy? Follow Jedi Talk?
Oh, I could just carry around a Jedi Talk shirt the whole time, yeah.
Could you imagine George Lucas spotted with a Jedi Talk t-shirt?
He just wears it to the gym. I'd be the happiest person in the world. I'd like to think that Hayden Christensen wears the one I gave him to the gym or something.
I bet he does. unless he dumped it all on the way to the airport.
No, I bet you if there's genuine actors or people who receive fan gifts, they probably put it in like a closet or they put it like in away to the side or something.
Right into the incinerator.
Sure.
That's where it goes.
That's fine. Well, whatever. He touched it, so let's hope he touched
my logo.
it. You touched Jedi talk. I feel it in my bones. Jenny made a good point, and we talked about that. All that media up and down with the Halcyon. I think the only thing I would say to her on top of that is when you call Disney out for pulling that media down, you have to call out the immediate hate that everything Disney does with Star Wars gets. There's some valid criticism in there, but then again, they look at the Acolyte. It got ratioed, and I still don't understand why.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
You can dislike something based on the look of it, but does it trigger you so fucking bad that you have to jump on and just rage it from the start just because the mouse put together your beloved Star Wars, which doesn't, Luke, Mark Hamill's in his 70s, right? Luke can't be done anymore. Like, new stories have to be told. I feel like I talk about this all the time.
I could not agree with you more.
Yeah.
We have to move on from it.
It's true.
Like, we have to move past this era in Star Wars.
I don't know why she called the hallway sad and the outside part sad of the Star Cruiser.
Outside's definitely sad. Looks like jail.
Straight to jail. I don't know. I wasn't sad. But then again, you and I had great experiences out there. We're the dumbasses who got there at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
Actually, 10:30 and waited in the car, then drove to security and were first in line.
Yeah.
I do agree that should have been air conditioning or something, though.
It should have been inside for sure.
Yeah,
there's no reason for it not to have been.
Yeah, Florida, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I know we're on Chandrila, but you could have just said we're on Dagobah to at least make us feel a little bit better, getting humidity up the wayside there.
You know what I also agreed with her on? The story of like why is this luxurious thing? I know she's like in the canon. I know it's because it's the 250th or 270. What is it? 275? 250? 75?
275.
275th anniversary, and we're going to Batu. But it would have made a lot more sense if we got like diverted to Batu.
Yeah,
I could not fucking agree.
That was an interesting. I never thought about that.
I've said that in one of the things, like, how did we get to this planet? Because it's like you're on this luxury
That's
thing, and it's a valid.
I don't have a problem.
I said it too. I agree with it.
I don't have a problem with why we're going to Batu, but like to credit to that thought, I'm like, okay, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot more. It makes sense. It makes sense. Like, if you're on a cruise ship, a real cruise ship, and they're like, we're going to our private island, and then you end up in fucking Cozumel, and you're like, what the fuck?
At the same
even though Cozumel points of protocol or whatever.
At the same venture, when she was talking about the outside and like the blue crew like telling people what to do and stuff, and like not and kind of this was like before some activities too. She said they were sort of maybe breaking the immersion. Again, common Disney guest has to be told these things.
Yep.
Or otherwise, the blue crew and the performers inside, like the Saja, and I want to talk about the Saja because you had kind of criticized the Saja a bit there. She did, not you. Jenny did.
I did.
Saying that like they reminded her of Shirat Imwe from Rogue One. And like, who wants to go hang out with that character? And then she's like, who remembers that character? I'm like, do you not know who saw Rogue One?
Yeah,
like,
it was the
this is a beloved movie amongst Star Wars fans.
What are you talking about? And the people that are like you that like the original trilogy, so those people love that movie.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. That's him.
That's him. Yeah, 100%. Like,
and so that
was a dumb take.
That was an interesting take to have. That I disagree with.
No, it was a dumbass take.
He's not towing the line much anymore.
I don't feel like I feel like people are going to say I'm towing the line, but I'm not. I just see both sides.
No. So do I hear it, and I'm trying to be objective from a sense of taking my Star Wars fandom hat off.
I was getting so mad at a few points and things.
Yeah.
I was like, I kept telling myself like, it doesn't matter. Just let her talk. Let her get through it. Like, let her.
I just want to say I think it was a missed opportunity to interact with the Saja even once or twice if you were even if you're going first order, and then I mean she got the holocron room.
Yeah, she said she got like randomly placed in that. And I was like, I would have fucking loved to know how to go to Batu and get randomly.
No, it felt better going to doing the work. I like
not her day. The rain and shit. Fuck all
the rain
that.
was bad.
She literally had one of those days that like I remember working guest relations and people would come up to me and they're like, everything's been down, nothing's working. And you'd have to like, all right, well, here's 40 fast passes. Go have fun. Mm-hmm. Like, she had one of those days, and she didn't seek out help.
That's okay. Yeah, a lot of people knew Rogue One. I feel like I should defend Nostalgia, but that's okay. That's not the path you wanted to take. I just suggest you should have.
Next time you go, fucking go do it.
Yeah, it's not there. And again, I just want to make mention, it's hard for me to see her side of the play aspect and the app, because she definitely had an app issue, and it again, was it tried to be fixed? I'd really like to know. And I can't remember from the video.
She said
she didn't. So it's like, would that have broken the immersion? It's like,
at a certain point,
try a little bit. But I get her point. It's $6,000 for the damn thing. But
yeah, but like you also, if there's an issue, they need to be told. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know if there's an issue if you don't fucking tell them.
Right. It just comes off as like you wanted it to fail. It comes off as just like, yeah, of course this happened. Of course, it's just like, like this thing's new and
especially with like your first few voyages.
Yeah.
Like it hadn't fully, fuck, they'd done like what, 2 or 3 real go-arounds by that point.
What were your thoughts on like the saying punch it? Maybe we're being nitpicky of the things that you said. It's like, I think you're saying punch it when you're pulling it for hyperspace drive.
I always knew that that Han said it, but like I never really thought of it as like a tagline.
Oh.
I don't think it's as egregious as like the shawarma was with Avengers Campus.
Yeah.
They act like they fucking invented it. Not 1, but 2 shawarma carts. And everyone's like, what the fuck are you talking about, Bob Chapek?
Yeah.
Bob Chapek.
I know
back-to-back Bobs is hard to keep.
Yeah, Bobby I and Bobby C. I know that some of her complaints was like not knowing what was going on during the story, which I can understand because her texts in the app were off and her character interactions were a little less than desired.
But is it that hard to follow?
Well,
the story that hard
also, there was a part in the video where I'm like, well, you don't know what's going on right now when Sammy in the bridge or when Lincoln Mock's talking because you're paying attention to Wani and Sandra outside.
Yeah.
And I have ADHD. I understand that, but it's like, and I'm not saying you do, but Jenny, but I'm just saying it's like it's imperative to hear them, but
also a few things she said, I was like, they do that. Like she's like, I wish they would like bring the coaxium into the thing. And I'm like, they did. You just weren't involved.
It was funny
for whatever reason. You could have not been on that path, whatever. But like
it was funny her calling out that one video about how much time they said you can smuggle luggage, you can help move luggage. I didn't know they said it that much in that video.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I
remember watching that.
I remember watching it and being like, I still remember going like until Evan went back because I kind of stayed dark until then, being like, so what are we gonna do? Remember Holly talking about it, she was like, so you're just like gonna take luggage to a fucking room?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I guess we'll see. Yeah, we've said this 1,000 times, Disney's marketing of it was top tier shit. I've always said they should do a course on how to market a movie and follow the exact plan that The Force Awakens took, and they should do the exact opposite and teach this class as well on how to not fuck up an immersive experience, because they should have stood behind what they put out and just kept building on it.
Yeah.
That would have been the smart thing to do.
She said something about when she was talking about the Force Rocks movement in the climate simulator. She's like, oh, looks like they pulled influencers or just like popular people in there to do that. No, they picked Evan.
They picked Evan, and it was his video.
Yeah, they picked Evan to go in the climate simulator. And it was great. We were in there too.
Yeah, it was fun.
So thanks for using that video, because Brad and I were behind the camera watching.
Yeah, we were behind Evan. Hey, you.
This is it.
What else do we have to say about this? I think she was dead on. And again, we've talked about this at the end of the video where she talks about like all these upcharge experiences that Disney's now doing. And
oh, sure.
She's dead on.
Like, I just want to say like a lot of her experience, like the no sleep thing. And I wasn't miserable with that.
No,
so it's just,
I'm also used to not sleep. I don't sleep that much anyway.
I'm just trying to use this platform to say again, the validity of everything you said. It's there. I respect your opinion because you're a human being and you have a great platform to release it. A lot of the things that happened to this to Jenny was the opposite for me.
Yeah, same.
And it's like we have our experiences and it's totally allowed for that experience to happen. It's just crazy that people are jumping on it, and like it just feels, and no one's come at me particularly with this, but it just feels like people are like, oh yeah, I knew all along it was terrible. The people who say it was great, they don't know what they're talking about. They're just influencers and they're just paid by Disney. No, Disney does not like this podcast.
Yeah,
I can
all.
guarantee you that.
I promise you that.
We have former cast members on here for former performers on here for a reason.
Yeah.
Did anyone tell LaBeth she's been seen 2.1 million times?
No, we probably should though. I think she would be really upset by that video. I feel like she would take a lot of that shit personally.
Well,
Also, too, they didn't. Oh, this was another correction. They didn't replace Cantina Chronicles with Spirits of Adventure. It was still there. They did both.
oh yeah, the Cantina Chronicles was just a non-alcoholic one, right?
Yeah, and they didn't take that away. Oh no, did they?
I don't know. I don't remember.
I feel like they still did it. It was just that they also had Spirits of Adventure.
Yeah, I never found the missions boring in Batu. And maybe you see Batu in a different light.
I didn't like them.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was.
That's fine. And
See,
maybe
I agreed with her on that kind of stuff, and like I also agreed with her on like on the in-app stuff. I was like, it's a little boring. It's a little like, but again, it to me that was like a necessary thing to further what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a hindrance to me because it's like, I mean, in all seriousness, when you're going through that app, it's like 2 or 3 clicks and then you're done.
You know what's wild?
You know,
is that she I can't remember what she needed to get refunded on or something, but it happened twice, and she just tweeted about it, and Disney took care of her.
Yep.
Hey, Disney, what the fuck happened when you canceled my Leia box in 2021 for May 4th?
Should have tweeted them from the
I
Jedi
did.
Talk account.
I sent emails to directors of Shop Disney.
Wow.
Like, I found them on LinkedIn. I was pissed.
I think we need to tag them in this clip.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm over it now. My collection has grown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it has. I'm trying to think about what the last little bit of that video was. It was all about.
Oh, it was about the upcharging, which I think we can all agree on, that Disney's putting stuff behind a paywall.
Yeah.
And a point that she made was the stuff that was supposed to go in Galaxy's Edge, Brad, and we've talked about this at length, all behind the cruiser, which is just, it's so icky to think about.
Yeah, it is. It is, and it's also a very fair criticism.
Oh yeah,
because I think
a lot
all
of
of us would
this.
agree.
Yes,
I think all of us would agree. Yes, we had fun on the Halcyon, but if you could go see the Gaia dinner show at Galaxy's Edge,
well, yeah, if you
way
pay at
better
a sit down, I'll
experience.
pay $70, whatever they charge at
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, or
Yep.
I just did Artist Point, whatever they pay for that. So
yeah, it would cost more than that for sure, but
that's fine. But
she also had some speculation at the end of the video, which I thought was cool. That she thinks they're probably just going to open this as a dinner show with with lightsaber training, possibly because it's right there off the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down for that. I personally think they're going to go around and try this again in a different way. That's my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have too much invested in the building, too much invested in the technology behind it to let it all go. Also, the project that we've heard about from somebody that is similar to this, but with a different IP, you know what I'm talking about, is something that I think they're probably not going to announce at this D23, but the next D23. You don't think so?
I think a little longer.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, D23 is every, 2 years?
Oh, is it 2 years?
Yeah.
Okay, then 4 years, maybe.
4 years out.
Maybe.
4 years
Yeah.
from now.
If that even is a thing.
Have you heard anything?
No, but I haven't probed it
It
since.
might not have. It might. Well, there's a reason I think it might not be. I'll talk to you off air about it.
Mm-hmm.
It could. I could see it getting axed. No
Well,
pun intended.
The cruise. I mean, look at it. I think one of the last things I want to say about this, and we've talked at length about it. I think it's easy to look at this video and get really frustrated right away. Yeah. Being a big Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser fan, as I am, as part of 1/3 of this of Jedi Talk, and similar thoughts with Brad and Evan. Evan's obviously the biggest fan out of the three of us, hands down. Brad and I are probably on the same level a little bit.
I think you're a little more than me. You got a tattoo.
That's true. I did get a tattoo.
I'm probably the least big fan out of all of us.
Okay, that's fair.
But I still love it.
That's fair. Hey, I get tattoos of things that make a mark on me.
There you go.
And I thought this was
mark on you.
It did. Same with the CM Punk tattoo I got and all the Metallica tattoos I have. So, but anyway, so yeah, I guess Evan, me, Brad. But at the same sense, we all had. I hate saying life changing because it sounds weird, but we had experiences. You've said infamously, it's the most fun you've had. The most fun you've had as an adult.
Yeah,
it's the most adult fun you've ever had.
Yep.
And we've all experienced that. So it's easy to get caught up when you see that headline, and then you don't want to read it and then you see the comments, and then those comments, you go on Discord, you go on Reddit, you go on Twitter. I implore the Star Cruiser community, just if this video is going to trigger you, if this is going to even listening to us triggering you a little bit, just let it be. Stay away. I don't think anything she says, even with the large following, will change Disney's idea. Disney's going to make money one way or another. Like, I do believe Josh tomorrow when he says something's going to go there. We've just got to remember the experiences we had and not be in an echo chamber, right? We have to allow ourselves to just, okay, people had criticisms about that. People hate Metallica, and I want to punch them in the face when I hear that, right? But they're just not into heavy metal music, or they might think Metallica's so loud or something. I have respectful opinions on why I disagree with that, and I think I encourage everybody to do the same. A lot of things she said in that video, frustrated me too, like Brad said, but I'm sitting there as a Star Wars fan, as a Star Cruiser fan, and as somebody who created a character that I'm trying to extend as part of the legacy continues. I just want to say, don't let one person's experience ruin yours.
No, definitely not.
Don't do that.
It doesn't make sense for that to have happened.
And I want to say one more thing, too. I should have said this earlier in the show. Hopefully people have hung on. Something happened recently. Look, if you're in a private Facebook group, do not screenshot something that somebody said and put it on a public platform. Because
that's gross.
We found that out, and if you're in Halcyon, the Legacy Continues Facebook group, you might have seen it. It's one that I admin alongside Evan. You might be. I think you're an admin in there too. Yeah. So it was posted. Somebody's thought on the return of events, and somebody took it and they're babbling about it on Twitter. And I found out where that was, and I went and asked it to be removed.
Did you ever find out who it was?
I don't know who they are. I tried to look up the name that I saw in the group. I didn't see it, so maybe somebody snapped it, sent it, and it made its rounds. I don't know.
It's so fucking shitty.
It is what it is, but I asked for it to be taken down, and it did. But then that individual went private, and then they were talking about it while behind private, claiming that it was... This is not misogyny, by the way. I can't believe I have to say that. And that people rip on us for saying something in, like, behind closed doors, when if it's a private group, people can say whatever the heck they want. They can say whatever the heck they want in a non-private group.
Yep.
If it was public and that person said that and you posted it, you wouldn't have been hearing from me.
Yeah, exactly. It's
you wouldn't have been hearing from me.
It's a private conversation.
Yeah. I told that individual, I said, I don't disagree with you, or I'm not invalidating your opinion on Jenny being, her view being, 100% correct. You got to take this down. This is a private Facebook group, man. Like, you just got to take it down for us, please. But then the fact that you go on and calling this person out and saying things like it's in an echo chamber, don't. I just implore you. People have opinions. That's a great thing about this country. It's this free will that we have to say things. And nothing she said was calling anyone out personally. I disagree with a fair amount, but again, at the same time, she made a fair amount of good points. So,
yeah, I think she did too. And I also think that with an opinion that's that well thought out, you kind of have to give her a little bit of credit, because it's not just I didn't go on the ship, I didn't think it was worth it, I was right because it failed. That's not an opinion. It's not an informed opinion. But she had an informed opinion. She went and got seated behind a fucking beam for 2 nights of dinner. That would have pissed me off.
But
God, that would have pissed me off.
I also would have done something about that, though.
It could have been worse. You could have not been sitting at a table and met a Nazi like we did.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, you could have been sat with somebody
who was a fucking Nazi.
Yeah, under his shirt, he's wearing like a Hitler and a Speedo T-shirt or some crap like that.
God, that was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the video was good. I mean, I also think people like to do this thing where they go, nope, you're an asshole and da-da-da, so I don't have to listen to a thing you say. You don't have to listen to a thing she says.
No, I don't, yeah.
But,
if you don't want
but I don't think people going, her opinion is not valid because you didn't like it. Is not that I don't feel like that opinion is valid.
I saw another opinion that this person was infamous for just doing this on purpose to rile up fan bases. I don't know if, again, I don't
That's what I've
know
heard
the
too.
videos. I don't know the videos.
I can't comment on it. No clue. But I know, like I said, I know that she's done some Star Wars movie reviews. Like I saw a thumbnail because it was like, now I'm getting all her shit.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Recommended to me.
Oh, yeah, well, why not?
And according like YouTube things, I've watched this video twice.
It's because I'm watching it from the YouTube.
But they're like, holy shit, you watched this thing twice. You must really like this video. So here's everything she's ever done. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's a complicated thing because I feel like people are going to want me to defend the Halcyon 100%, but there's valid points in the video. But it's also because the video is not just about the Halcyon. The video is about Disney,
right? The marketing
broken
of it,
promises,
yes,
and a bunch of other shit that goes into it. That if you just see the thumbnail and the name of the video, you're going to think it's all Halcyon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she gets to her experience on the Halcyon until like an hour and 10 minutes in or something like that.
If that, the thing
it's not the biggest chunk of the video.
The film she used for Jedi Talk is just a few seconds of the Spirits of Adventure. The first one that we did, and that's like 2.5 hours in.
Yeah.
So there's so much footage in there. There's stuff from Tim Tracker, from the Diz. There's lots of stuff in there.
TikToking. God damn it.
And the TikTokers. Yeah. Disney, why did you bring TikTokers onto the Halcyon?
She also said something that I could not fucking agree with more. That she's like, if you're going to do this and you're on the media list, you should be giving a fair fucking opinion of it and using your access to give a fair opinion. But that's not what Disney wants you to do if you get media access. Yeah. So it's like, do you burn that bridge and be honest, or do you not? And it's like, what's best for you? It's because I agree with her. You should be giving a fair thing. And I feel like I'm fencing again. But also that's not what Disney wants you to do.
No. Disney wants the Disney food blogs of the world to be like, oh my God, Disney secret, guys, pretzels in Germany.
Oh my God! Did you know that you can get an extra cheese if you ask, and all you have to do is say, "Hey, I'm AJ from Disney Food Blog," and they'll give you an extra cheese.
And there's a video of the same fucking thing at 5 different angles.
Yeah, and it's the slow pan down,
and then the opening of the whatever it is
with their nails and the thing, so you can see their manicure because that's what it's really about.
Yeah.
God, we hate women on this podcast.
No, you do.
That's fair.
You do.
Like we said, like Aaron said earlier, women shouldn't be allowed to speak, and Aaron's a woman.
No, I don't think she said that. It was the opposite. Mentioned speak.
I think she said women shouldn't have an opinion.
No, I think it was the opposite. Go back and look.
I'm pretty sure.
Go back and read
that
verbatim.
I'm pretty sure I'm
verbatim.
But yeah, man. Anything else in the video you want to?
No, it's kind of crazy how it's about like the things that just rile up a fan base or just get us.
If that was her intention, you did a great job. But also, people in the fan base just don't acknowledge it.
Yeah. I wouldn't acknowledge it. I wasn't going to until it like became something to chat about. And you know, Brad and I have this. We're fortunate enough to have this platform to chat, and we're trying to take the most biased look at it. Overall, like she has valid concerns based on her experience. I have just disagreements with a lot of it concerning my experience in the app and the play. And the video won't change how I think about the Star Cruiser and the Halcyon.
No, definitely not.
Doesn't change what I think about that
It kind of reaffirmed everything that I had thought going into it. Like, this really would have been cool if this was... I have like so many thoughts in my head right now. ADD is kicking my ass today. I forgot all of the like Hut characters that they announced at the D23.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That bounty hunter, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, there was a lot. It's gonna take you a while to find that.
I know.
In there.
I feel. Did you find it?
No, I wasn't looking. Do you feel like I do? I don't know.
I don't see it. I don't care. I'm pretty sure she said women, and it was like a joke because it's like from the show.
Somebody bought the Tom Hit the Button shirt.
I think someone sent a message. It could have been that one. Yeah, I saw that. That's pretty. You told me that. That's pretty cool. All right, who cares? But yeah, man. Anything else? Anything else you got to say about the video? Anything else?
No. I think I've said. I mean, I took a lot of notes, and there was a lot in there. I think I've said my piece.
I meant to take notes, and then we started putting together 2 new bar stools for our counter, so I didn't get a chance to fucking take notes. But and then the other half I was working when I was doing it, so I didn't really get a chance to take notes on that either. But what can you do? If she wants to come on the show, I'd like to. Here's the thing. I don't think she's going to say anything. Our opinions aren't going to change her mind at all. I would like to hear how much even if it's just like privately, I would like to hear how much she tried to get her issues fixed before just giving up.
She certainly doesn't need to come on the show. She's got 2 million views on the video.
No, she's crushing it.
What are we going to do? Yeah.
She's crushing it. So outrage works, folks. Just don't feed into it.
Yep. It's true.
All right, man. Anything else Star Wars news-wise before we wrap this bad boy up?
We're good. We'll be we're doing our live show next week, so I think we're aiming for Tuesday evening. Unless Evan's got to work, then we'll figure that out.
We'll figure it out. Keep follow us on Jedi Talk, so you'll see when we do that. We'll announce when we're doing it. So, That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for listening to the show. We will see you on the next one. Until then, stay safe. May the Force be with you.
Rise.
Always in good journey.
Thank you. Rise, Jedi Knight.
Together.